Greetings from Northumberland on the 16th of July. We've just passed the middle of this month. Today, Jesus is in dispute with the Pharisees and the leaders of the Jewish people. This is not a new picture in the gospel. Again and again and again, Jesus is in dispute. And it's very interesting that someone who speaks of love and peace and encourages his followers to act through love and through peace is so often to be found in dispute with those in authority. And this is, of course, where we get this image of the wineskins, the new wine and the old wine. And we should always remember it's a picture of Christianity as opposed to, if you like, traditional Jewish religion. Jesus is saying there's something new. We sometimes in the church, and we're doing that at the moment, use it to describe different forms of the church or different forms of worship. This is, of course, entirely wrong, because the new wine is the Christian faith. And the new wine is sometimes more mature than at other times. But the important thing is that the new wine is Christianity. And that's why it doesn't fit into the old wineskin of the Jewish tradition in which Jesus was brought up. That's my little 5 pence for today. Because what Jesus is saying today is that you have to move beyond just what's on the outside. They're being criticized, his disciples, for plucking the grain, rubbing their hands and eating the grain. It's not even really eating, it's just a sort of thing that you do walking through a cornfield. And they're criticized because it's the Sabbath and they're breaking the law. And Jesus, of course, immediately comes back with examples from Jewish tradition where people broke the law for good reasons. He uses King David, the great archetypal king. He uses the fact that the priests themselves continue their work during the Sabbath. And then he comes to the nub of the matter, and this is in St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 12, and I'm going to read the 2 verses from verse 6, 3 verses. I tell you something is greater than the temple, the tradition here. If you had known what it means, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. What I desire is mercy and not sacrifice. Every day we read the accounts of our lawmakers. We will have read them today and yesterday. And one of the things that we as Christians must do is measure what our lawmakers, what our parliaments, what our councils, what other people do against that message of Jesus. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. Do the decisions of our governments, do the decisions of those in authority seek to reflect the love and the mercy of God? Do the decisions that lawmakers make and the laws that lawmakers pass favour the weak, favour the common good? Or do they seek to help a particular group of people and enhance their wealth or their comfort at the expense of others? As Christians, we have to live by this law of love. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength. And love your neighbour as yourself. That law encompasses everything in the law of the Old Testament, crystallizes it, refines it, and places it before us as a law of mercy. We should never be reconciled to what is second best. We also recognize that so often our human institutions do not perfectly reflect what Christ calls us to. But we should never cease to seek to reform them in a Godward and in a Christ-like direction. What I desire is mercy and not sacrifice. So let us pray for those parts of our society which enhance that message in the way we live. For the welfare state, for the National Health Service, for the way in which the poor are supported, and for the way, and let us be sorry about the ways in which we fail to do that, and work and pray that mercy and not sacrifice will be at the heart of our community, our society, our country, and our country's actions in the world. May God bless us.